8, 7. Good morning. Welcome into another episode of Good Morning NASDAQ, live with Don Master Mateo. Michael Hudson riding around in his car, getting his pistachio oat milk latte with an extra shot of espresso. Welcoming you into another episode this morning on the Clover Trading YouTube channel. It is 8:50 in the morning. Apparently clocks are 5 minutes forward right now. We're not late at all. And it is Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you had a great week. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you had a nice dinner or two with friends or family. Hope you traded well, stayed safe. What else do we wish for them? They're happy.
We wish for happiness.
We wish that you take some of that happiness and that you go make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you're watching all the content, that you're getting the most out of our free content. It'll always be free over here on YouTube, so join. Make sure you're subscribed. We're on a mission to get to 5K. And make sure you're liking all the content, commenting on the content. And again, we appreciate your appreciation. Yesterday, I didn't harass you guys about the like button. I might do it today if we don't immediately kick off with a flurry of likes here. But it is Friday. We got Eric Incy in the room. Had a great episode of Wine Wednesday with him. You guys can always check out old Wine Wednesdays or Good Morning NASDAQ by going over to the homepage on the Clover Trading YouTube channel and going to playlists. That's where all the unlisted stuff goes. That's where all the live streams go. And just so you know, we are live every single day the market is open, and we're really proud to do that for you guys. We got Mash for Fun, Joseph, Wayne, Cellini Music. Welcome in, welcome in. That's your place, guys, over in the community chat right there on YouTube. If you want to ask a question, talk about something, tell us where you're from, throw out a ticker that you want us to discuss. We usually have some time towards the end, and we'd be happy to scour that comment section and get some questions asked. Alrighty, how's your week going, Huddy?
My week?
Yeah, your day, your week.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just got the pistachio latte, so I haven't had a sip yet. It's 5:50 a.m. So not everything's kind of working, but we'll get there. Week's been good. It's been kind of a travel week for me. I was in, New Hampshire on Monday, New York on Tuesday, Scottsdale by Thursday. Now I'm going up to Flagstaff today. So it's been busy travel week, but
busy week.
It's been profitable. It's been a good week. The gappers have been fading nicely, so that's been good, except for one maybe, but by the end of the day, it did fade. So yeah, happy with the week, and yesterday was great. Yesterday was super easy.
All right, on that topic, let's do a new segment called Market Mood Tracker. What's the mood of the market right now? Pretty much red every day this week. Overall market has faded off. You have the geopolitical stuff going on in the Middle East. There's new news, what feels like every couple hours. You're getting notifications on your phone. It's not been a disaster. It's like tumble from the highs, but we are fading off the highs. What's the mood tracker look like?
I think this is to be expected. I mean, not the geopolitical stuff, but the fade. Tough to gauge the mood because again, like the fade is to be expected. I think every year the market, like on average, will drop 13% from the highs at some point during the year, especially when you get such a run up in the first 3 months. Like, I think everyone expected it. And so, when you're asking about the mood, are you asking about like how we feel about small cap? Because I feel like small cap has kind of been dead.
Transition me from what's going on overall to how we should feel right now this week with the quantity and quality of plays we've seen, and going into the weekend, how we should mentally prepare ourselves.
I think it kind of translates into small cap, right? It's been for the most part dead. There hasn't been a lot of volume or liquidity these past 2 weeks, really 3 weeks. A lot of things have been fading. I think maybe correlated there, or fading really hard, and maybe the degree of how much they're fading is correlated. We really only seen one penny stock chart that was pretty good, which was JAGX. We talked about that on Tuesday, I think, in Good Morning NASDAQ when someone asked the question. But other than that, there haven't been a lot of charts that set up and structure and breakouts like we were seeing back in February and parts of March and January. So it seems like we are it's not a good environment or sentiment for long bias traders, I don't think, because there's not a lot of charts.
Alrighty, with that being said, let's head into the gappers of the day. We have a couple. We had one that was up in the 90s to 100 area. It has since come down just a bit. We got ZCMD, which if I switch you guys over here with me, it's Zhongchao 1.86 million float, 7 mil market cap out of China. This rings some bells because we had a few gappers yesterday out of Hong Kong. We had what, TIRX and AGBA were both of them
Yeah.
Chinese. And those both pretty much were very short lived out of the gate, faded most of the day, got down like 30, 40, 50% of the day, and then had some small bounces back into the close. So again, going into that mood tracker, just looking at trends of the overall market into small caps. The gapper market is one that we usually attack here in Good Morning NASDAQ. And yeah, so the Chinese ones failed yesterday, and something, let's see if there's any news on Zhongchao. No, to be expected. Very rarely do we have news anymore on stocks gapping. 1 month ago, it looks like they did a 1 for 10 reverse split, a share consolidation. And that was on, let me just see here. February 29th. Take a look at, they have 29.6 months of cash. They have 2.7 million left on a December 2021 ATM. That's really all that's going on here. Just not a lot going on here. Let me take a look at the daily chart. And in the last, what did I just say? February or early March. So it's had a couple little pops since it's done its reverse split, where it's topped out at 310, 220s. And we've really been using that 310 area as resistance this morning. And you can already see when I look at this chart here, there's broken up days where it traded zero volume. Not a lot going on here. Just not a stock that is all that interested in doing anything. Spent a couple of years in a very tight range. Has since fallen off towards the end of last year into this year. And right now have some of the bigger volume we've seen already in this stock's lifespan. Already this morning, over 15 mil. First thoughts, Jimothy.
First thoughts is the gap in spikes that have, failed in the 2s and 3s were on lesser volume than it's trading in the pre-market right now. So, I think in my mind, I think this is gonna be choppy. I think either is gonna find support at these levels of like 2s or low 2s and kind of wick up and down and close in the middle, or it's just a really crappy company and it fades all the way off. Those are the two scenarios. Those are my first two thoughts that I think of.
First two thoughts. Yeah, I think bless me. There's not a lot to go off of here in terms of structure. I really think you're looking at the past 2 months and saying this is the entirety of this stock's daily chart, because there's no resistance overhead of any volume. I mean, this day right here did 900 shares. Let me try to find a zero for you. I know there's one coming. I found a 25 share day. That was a big solid voluminous day. There's just not a lot going on. Like you said, volume a lot more today. If I'm drawing my lines, I'm drawing it at 220 and 310. But I'm not really all that interested in buying day one stocks on Chinese tickers. They tend to be a little more scammy. There's no news today, so it's not like there's a big catalyst on this Friday. And we saw 2 Chinese stocks yesterday with the same type of stories gap up a lot bigger than this and fail quite hard. So we'll see if that trend continues or if they can catch some people off guard. I did say 1.86 million float, so not the biggest ever. Could, like Huddy said, be a little bit choppy, be a little bit, what's the word? A little scary. It's not the smallest float in the world, not the biggest, but we will see. 86, 88% on the day right now. We'll see where that opens in about 30 minutes. But that is your top percent gainer on the morning so far in the $2 price range. What else do we have here? So
RWAD.
We have RWAD, Redwood's acquisition. Let's talk about it. There's not a lot to talk about in dilution tracker because it says dilution might not matter for this. It is a higher price stock. Not a daily chart we'll get to in a minute. It's a shell company. Let me see here. I'm going to need your help here, Huddy, because this is not my specialty.
Look, mergers are not my specialty either, but it's a merger. They approved a merger with a new medical. I don't see a lot of information on my Thinkorswim about it. but it looks like a merger's been approved. I don't know. By the way it's trading, I wouldn't say that it's like gone through. Usually when they go through, it just kind of barcodes at a specific price. This has a lot of movement. After hours yesterday and then pre today, wow, it got up to 30, and now it's back down to 13. That's crazy. Um, so it looks like they're looking to do something that increases the value for shareholders and therefore the stock price. But it hasn't, in my opinion, I don't know for sure, but I don't think it's gone through yet. I think it's forward-looking news.
Is this something you'd ever want to trade or be interested in?
Yeah, I would. Well, for my strategy, if it had opened up a little bit higher, I mean, down here in the 12, 13, I'm less interested, but had it been at the highs of the 30s, like yesterday, I'd totally be bearish.
What is
I think
what's your
I just
float
think people
say?
overreact to news. That's a good question. I don't have that information in front of me. I'm on my phone. Or what? I can
I do
find it.
not know how to use Yahoo Finance.
Just go to statistics.
Statistics. I don't see it. Oh wait,
The float is
5.5 million.
5.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Redwood's
I wouldn't let
acquisition.
it definitely wouldn't scare me away. We've seen other charts like this that still fade, and like again, like news is so subjective, and there's so often, uh, what the actual reaction is not what it's supposed to be. A lot of times, people overreact or underreact or react to something that shouldn't be reacted to at all, uh, and that's what creates arbitrage within penny stocks a lot of the time. So. That's why I would still go after it without even really like I'm not here trying to dissect or understand really any single bit of piece of news. Most of it is hard to really understand for me because I assume all these companies are horrible. So we'll
It's a
see.
strong accusation.
I think most of the companies that are in the $5, like if you come from $5 and below, I think you are like that is fundamentally speaking, if you're $5 and below, you are a penny stock. Like that is textbook.
So you're judging
And if
books
you're a
by their
penny stock,
cover.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'll remember that one. But all right, let's take a little left-hand turn here. So there was a lot of news last night about more, were they bombs? What was
Yeah, but then it all got
explosions?
taken back.
They got
It all
taken
got taken
back.
back.
But we still have a couple in that space gapping up this morning. So we can do a quick little recap of the oil and gas energy stocks. TPAT gapping up this morning in the 26 area, got all the way up to 50 cents. I'm seeing, I just saw another one. Hub C, I guess I don't know why I call it Hub. Hub C with a chart that's still developing. That's a defense Israeli company. I know I saw a lot of it in our room and just people in general of, every time they get some sort of news alert or something, they really want to be buying these stocks. You also have stuff like INDO, CEI, which has already given back its gap, ENSV, GBR. We've been trained to know the tickers that are in this realm. But I really caution people to still sit back and wait for daily chart setups. I know it's easy to have seen a sector go. Maybe you're in your first year or two and you watched marijuana run big, or you watched oil and gas in 2022, and you see what these stocks are capable of, or specific stocks in a sector. And you just add so much extra risk and losses to the table when you just start buying stuff without caring about the chart and just caring about the news. It's not a guarantee that all of them go. It's not a guarantee that all of them go in a certain time frame. I still, these have already all started their moves. Like you can see, we always talk about significant volume relative to the rest of the daily chart. Like HUBC has already done that. INDO has already started to do that. Like if they are going to go higher because of the stuff going on overseas, the chart will find a way to show you that. And if they do just randomly go off their lows, or like something like CEI, a horrible looking daily chart, and you wake up and it's at 45, that type of stuff doesn't give me regrets or anger. Like I should have just been buying, because what am I risking? How much size am I using? How long am I willing to hold this for? Like I still want to wait for setups. And for me, the best setup during momentum and sector momentum is breakouts. And well, that's the first thing I'm really waiting for. If they've already popped up, they've already got on radar. Now all I have to do is sit back and wait for them to to get near those levels, to start consolidating, to show me some sort of strength. Like right now, INDO is 50% off the highs. Like I don't need to be buying it here. And if I am, I need to accept that I am adding a ton of extra risk with a horrible win percentage. And if it works out, I'm going to get paid big. And if it doesn't, which I should expect to not have that work out. So when it comes to all these tickers that I'm starting to see pop up on the radar this morning, they're up a little bit. I'm coming from a place of patience, and that's what I really try to do during this, because sector momentum hasn't been as good as it's cracked up to be over the past year or two. I feel like oil and gas was the last great one in 2022. AI I thought was horrible. We had a small marijuana one last year and then this year. But if it truly is going to be a hot sector that lasts multiple weeks, the charts will show you that, and they will set up, and I will be waiting for that. All right. Next, big gappers that I don't see any. The AULT is one that you guys talked about, or Jack did like months ago, I feel like. Was it?
Yeah.
What
that
world was that in?
I think it's Bitcoin.
Really?
I think it's crypto.
It is. It's BitNile, huh? Weird. Well, that's up 38% this morning.
Strange.
Let's see if
BitNile is a really horrible company.
Talking about stocks, Parker says, I feel like I've been hearing small caps are dead since 2022. Other than spurts of Momo we get. Yeah, it's, again, perspective, how you believe the word dead means. Because many people are still making very good money. I think Kyle's already up, I don't know, record numbers, but having a great 2024. Did very well in 2023.
He's having a record year.
Is it? Yeah. Well, yeah, again, it's just perspective, being able to shift and adapt. Maybe it has to do with trading a little bit less, learning different strategies, whatever it is. I personally, think I try to blame myself for everything every time I struggle and not the market. I do think there's been great opportunities, whether you're long bias trader or short bias trader over the past 2 years. You just have to pick your spots, kind of what you're saying. And I don't even necessarily mean like the crazy spurts, like when Holo went nuts earlier this year, like when we had that 10-day stretch of random crazy tickers. Like that wasn't really my speed, but there are times when there's just really good setups that are developing on the daily chart, and that's when I need to make sure that I'm there and executing. But I think it's your perspective. I try not to think about things I have no control over, and I definitely don't have any control over the amount of opportunities or the quality of the opportunities that we get on a day-to-day basis. So AGBA, pretty big actual merger news. So AGBA up this morning after having a pretty big fade yesterday, was one of our biggest gappers of the day, pulled back all the way down to the 70s, closed around $1, and now in the last hour or so, popping back up. We can do a quick deep dive on that one, only up 30% right now. But I'm sure that will have some interest just because there were so many people watching it yesterday as the top percent gainer. Let's see. I can't stand this. So it's not, I don't think it's not very big merger news. So we were making fun of this yesterday. The news was AGBA and Trailer merged to create a $4 billion powerhouse, unleashing a game-changing power in digital content and financial services. Tell me how this is different this morning. AGBA and Trailer, $4 billion merger, elevating shareholder value to new heights immediately and for the long term. Do you believe it, honey?
Get caught in the pump.
But this time they put it all in caps.
And today they broke down the math for you. They're like, I don't think you got the message. Like, let me tell you how much this company's worth per share.
And they have a cool little little thing that shows it. They just threw some big numbers, it looks like. So the exact same news as yesterday. Yeah, that might have to enter a watch list. That's funny. Immediately and for the long term. There's literally not a time in which shareholder value will not be reaching new heights. That's exciting stuff. That's the type of stuff that gets me out of bed. If I saw that when I woke up first thing in the morning and I'm an AGBA shareholder,
I mean, you gotta imagine who you are as a person if you are an AGBA shareholder.
Hey, they're up, what, triple in the last few days. Okay, dude. And they really haven't been down if they've been buying it sub $1. Interesting move here, though. We'll see if the world buy. It's so funny. Sometimes the stuff that is most obviously like fluffy and they're just reusing PRs, how that will work sometimes. And then like really good news will come out and a stock will immediately just tank. And you're like, well, this is actually really great for the company and the shareholders. And it's going to take them to new heights immediately and in the future. It's just funny, the stock market, what we're willing to eat up. But good volume this morning already, comparable to yesterday in pre-market, on a day when that did what total 122 million. I will never not say I will welcome more volatility, more action, especially on something with I don't think is like groundbreaking news. But
I think it's a scam.
I think it is too, but I don't mind it being up here, and I hope it goes much higher.
Yeah.
Joel Parker says new T Swift today. Yeah, really big deal. So it's a double album, an extra 15 songs, album. I believe. I'm gonna have to trade the morning and really get situated with all the new songs, because the one thing as a Swiftie you can't have is, you know, you're driving in a car with friends tomorrow and someone brings up a new song and you haven't heard it yet or you don't know the words. That would be a mistake. That would be a problem. So it is important for me to make sure I take the time necessary to memorize the new stuff and decide what's for me and what's not, you know? All right. Cameron John says, I've never heard and for the long term before. That's it. Yeah, it's, I don't believe it. But all right, we'll answer Max's question. Get out of here. When does a daily chart reset for you so a new high volume gap is considered day one again? Sometimes you'll get a big move 4 or 5 or more days from the initial day one. What was one that I feel like we did this a lot on? Rivison. Yeah, so for me, I believe that we're still part of the initial like run when we're still making new highs or we're still holding a death line. So while the volume is still here back on RVCN, you obviously you get some sort of breakout, some gap up on this day, and we go on this run for multiple days. And then for me, even though the volume starts to die off, like in here, in this area, like volume is clearly lower, it's still holding above this 1060 area. And I still think there's a chance that this bounces back, sets up again over the course of a week or two, and then breaks out again. Like, even though if it's unlikely, in my opinion, I still will have it on watch. And the second that that death line breaks for me and the volume is like really non-existent, like once we have this red day here, like we're not breaking out anytime soon, if ever. Like, if you guys want to write stuff down, I really like to know this stuff. Like, does RVSN ever break this high in the immediately and in the long run? You're not even looking at the chart. I'm sorry, guys. Rehash, run, volume, death line, consolidation, no volume, day it breaks that. And so then like on this day down here, when we gap up, like this is a new day one to me because we are so far from this initial run. Like if we're past the point of big gap day, breakouts, first red days, first green days, like once everything has taken place and we're no longer going to break out again, then I believe it's a new day one. You have any different way you would say it, Jim Bob?
I don't really understand the question.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm distracted.
You are distracted. You're driving around. Are you going to trade from the car?
No, I'm not driving. I am parked. I just want everyone to know that. I'm not. No.
You look like Gary V this morning. Can you give us your best garage sale pitch?
I don't know who Gary V.
Yes,
I've never watched Gary V. I know his name. I just don't know what he does or what he says. I don't even know his voice.
I'm having a garage sale. Come up to me and offer me a lot less for some really important item to me.
$7, 7 days.
All right. Well, there are 123 of you watching this morning and only 43 likes. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit sad about that and that it didn't hit a little bit deeper in the soul. Really would expect to have at least 61.5 of you in here liking the like button. So if you want to just appreciate it by appreciating a little bit, we appreciate it. We really are grateful for you guys spending every morning with you here, Monday through Friday, 8:45 a.m. Live trading on Wednesdays, Wine Wednesdays on Wednesday nights. We love our YouTube community, and we are so grateful to have you guys in here every single morning, talking stocks, talking the market. We're all passionate about this stuff. I know you guys are as well, and I love talking about it. I love being here every morning. Oh my gosh, my heart just sank. You guys are getting the like button hit it right up. I know Huddy is just super grateful. Tell everyone how grateful you are, and Why don't you close out the show today? Look at that. Zoom hit you with a thumbs up.
Yeah, that was crazy.
AI, right?
AI, that's AI.
Do something else.
It's everywhere.
Higher
Okay.
up. Okay. Maybe like
I
that.
can lower one finger. Maybe I should lower one finger and see what.
Yeah,
it does.
your pointer finger. What happened?
No, I mean, everyone have a good weekend, have a good Friday. Trade safe and finish on a strong note. Take a good trade if it's there, and if it's not there, enjoy your weekend.
Enjoy your weekend. Go out there, put on some of the new Taylor Swift, do some yard work, take your shirt off, rake some leaves, whatever you want to do. Get out there, have a good time.
For me, it feels like a slow day.
It's going to be a slow day. Write it down in your minds right now. It's always better to be prepared for slow days than to be woken up at 11:30 a.m. Eastern and be like, what? How did I lose 6 times in a row? To mentally prepare yourself. Take the trades that fit your systems. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Have a phenomenal weekend. Go over your numbers. Talk to a mentor. Talk to a trading accountability buddy. And as always, we're going to head on over to the Clover chat if you want access to that. Link in the description. $7 for 7 days. Get access to everything we have to offer. Get a taste of it. If not, just hang out in the free community. And we'll be here Monday, 8:45 a.m. So appreciative for you guys. And we will see you first thing Monday morning. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.